Hello, good Thursday to you, and thanks for being here on the 17th day of August. Another hot one in the neighborhood with possibly some rain and storms in our forecast via a cold front that's coming and then leaving, and right now leaving us with an even clearer and drier forecast for not just your Friday night, but your Saturday, Sunday, and eclipse day as well. It's changed. I'll have it updated for you in just a few moments. My focus for the program shifted today while editing a couple of local government meetings. One topic that was discussed at length during one of those meetings became of great interest, and it goes to stand as an example of just how divided folks are on the issue of needle exchange programs, which are being presented to local governments in the viewing area, Eastern Kentucky, and in the entire state. And that will be one of our focal points. It lasts several minutes, but it is something that I think of great interest to us all, regardless on which side of the argument you're on. The largest meth bust, we believe, in the history of the viewing area, without a doubt, and someone else has had to retract and pull back on those glasses that they purchased in effort to make sure that everyone has a safe, enjoyable eclipse viewing on Monday. With that said, that's all we're going to cover tonight. A lot of news I'm already holding for later on in the week, just tomorrow, of course, Friday left. So let's go ahead and begin right now with two of our top stories, and that will be the before-mentioned drug bust in Paintsville. We're talking about $75,000 to $100,000 worth of crystal meth, the largest quantity that so far I can find out has ever been seized in the viewing area. And I'm not talking just about in the history of this program in its 19 years. But the Paintsville Police Department arrested two men already wanted on other charges, both of which facing serious charges and possibly more to come after more than a pound of the white crystal was discovered in their possession. It was actually very early this morning that Officer Zach Stapleton with the Paintsville PD was out and on his patrol or route when he saw a man on a motorcycle and knew that he was wanted on several indictment warrants, serious charges. He watched and followed as 41-year-old Toby Akers, who is from Martin in Floyd County, pulled into the Days Inn and went into a room. Stapleton then called for other officers to assist, and assisting was Deputy Jesse Mullins, also Sergeant Jonathan Holbrook of the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. They knocked on the door, and another man came to answer. It was then that the officers plainly saw visibly through the door paraphernalia in the room. They then requested and were granted consent to search the room, and once inside, they found 61-year-old Hank Pelfrey. He's from Langley. He was said to have been sitting on the bed. That's when they also learned that another individual locked themselves in the bathroom. Now, that was said to have been Toby Akers, they would later learn. They also say that he kept refusing to open the door and would not. They finally made entry, and after some resistance, Akers was taken into custody by force. That's where they found drugs afterwards. About a pound of crystal methamphetamine. And actually just a bit more, a little more than a pound. Now, if you do the math, as I just did, 28 grams to an ounce, 16 ounces to a pound. Right now, crystal meth in that grade is going for about $150 a gram. That's about $70,000 on the streets at a minimum that represents. 61-year-old Hank Pelfrey was charged with trafficking in meth in the first degree, two other counts of trafficking as well, another one in methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and DUI. 41-year-old Toby Akers was charged with trafficking in meth, resisting arrest. He was also served with 5 outstanding warrants as well, and for being in possession of drug paraphernalia. Many of the 5 warrants that Akers was served with, which were already outstanding, were related to a shooting in which he reportedly was involved when a man was shot several weeks ago, or actually just a few weeks ago, in Grethel. The investigation is ongoing as to where such a large quantity of crystal meth, which has become so ever popular and dangerous, came from. On the heels of similar reports, mostly within our schools, this time a local or regional business has now had to pull back and ask customers not to use the solar glasses that they so graciously passed out so that their customers could have a safe and joyful event while viewing Monday's eclipse. Just yesterday, it was the Floyd County School System and the Magoffin County School System calling off class after purchasing thousands of solar eclipse viewing glasses, and then later realizing that they could not be assured that they were indeed legitimate and real, and what they had purchased So now they are calling off class because they couldn't, of course, take a chance on their students using them. Well, Appalachian Wireless has also become a victim of the same situation. They gave out a significant number of free solar eclipse viewing glasses in stores throughout their entire region in an effort to help us all enjoy the rare and exciting event. But now they have to say, please do not use those glasses. If you picked up any of those glasses at Appalachian Wireless or obtained a pair some other way from a friend or what have you, do not use them. Throw them away. They were led to believe that they were safe for watching the eclipse. But like a lot of other folks, well, they're not so sure now. Appalachian Wireless has now learned that the manufacturer can't provide any actual documentation to certify compliance with recommended safety standards. In a statement, they say that they wanted to take part in the excitement of the eclipse and help people enjoy the experience, says Ashley Literal, who is the marketing manager for the company. He says the vendor initially told them that the glasses were certified for watching an eclipse, but as they learned about the safety risks, they started to question, and then they couldn't provide any authenticity to back it up. And viewing the eclipse of the sun without the appropriate eye protection, of course, we know can cause blindness and other eye issues. So please do not use those glasses that you may have obtained one way or the other from a friend or directly from Appalachian Wireless, as they are very fearful that they may not indeed work and you could damage your eye. And I suspect before the eclipse, we'll have more stories just like this. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Parkway Pharmacy, now open earlier from 8 a.m. until 6 in the evening to better suit your schedule and lifestyle, and to help you get better and live a healthier life. And if allergies are bogging you down, they're armed with the very best in over-the-counter relief for adults and your children. Reach owner pharmacist Jesse Rudd and his assistant pharmacist Megan Castle and their staff at 8 o'clock in the mornings or at 349-4400. A tire more than 25% low, about 8 pounds, makes you 3 times more likely, and worn-out tires 11 times more likely to be in a tire-related crash. Don't take your or their safety for granted. Come in for a free inspection, 6 months no-interest financing, the best price and best selection at Conley Tire in Staffordsville.
August is hot, and so are the savings at Appalachian Wireless, where all smartphones are 50% off. The 64-gig Galaxy S8, normally $149.99, now $74.99. Sizzle! The GS8 Plus, normally $249.99, now $124.99. Scorchin'! Even the 64, 128, and 256-gig models, all 50% off. Forget it! 50% off all smartphones while supplies last. 2-year agreement required. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless, an East Kentucky network company.
I'm attorney Don McFarland. We all know that times are hard. Jobs are scarce. Most people that I know are struggling to support their families and make it through each day. Now imagine that you get seriously hurt while working on the job, and the insurance company for your employer refuses to pay wages and benefits while you are injured and cannot afford to pay medical expenses, household bills, and put food on the table to support your family. I can help. If you are being wrongfully denied workers' compensation benefits that you rightfully deserve, then give me a call and let me go to work for you. 349-9000.
Yes, Logan makes the best truck bodies on the market, and they also have a fully stocked warehouse of dump body parts, PTOs, hydraulic pumps, hoists, anything you need to get back on the road. And they are a full-service steel and aluminum service center. They keep I-beam, channel, angle, pipe, round rod, rebar, expanded metal, sheet metal, and aluminum all in stock. And if you've got a big project, they do commercial manufacturing to your specs. Logan, since 1904. The weather is going to be great, and so is all of the food, fun, games, prizes, and entertainment this Saturday at the 14th Annual Magoffin County Community Day, where we've got Rhonda, Vincent, and The Rage, and all these other great shows, and that $10 ticket that gets you in also gets you a chance to win a car. Kids 12 and under, they get in free, so bring your lawn chair and bring the family to Community Day this Saturday in the Ramey Park. Wanting you to have a healthier life means providing access to quality, affordable health care. And to do exactly that, Hope Family Medical Center offers full dental care with Dr. Pratt and his team, a pediatrician team of 3 doctors and nurses and moms, complete health care by family physician Dr. Kelly Pratt and nurse practitioners Mildred Sizemore, Gail Faria, Shannon Conley, and Heather Blair. Behavioral health services with Kimberly Davis, with in-house lab testing and results, in-house x-ray and pharmacy, and all the caring, knowledge, and experience that these medical professionals represent
at Hope Family Medical Center.
Here's a new list of specials at Gateway. This Chevy Intervan runs great, cold AC, $49.90. This 2015 Commander 500 Camel ATV just traded for 72 miles. As new, save thousands. And a pair of RAV4s. This 2010 all-wheel drive, excellent price and payment. And this 05 RAV4 all-wheel drive, $5,900 or best offer. This 06 Crew Cab is a 4x4 and thousands below book at just $10,900. And most payments under $200 a month at Gateway Motors in Sagersville. On to this next report. While editing the Johnson County Fiscal Court meeting today, it became another story in and of itself about needle exchange programs, which are quite often a hot-button issue for many. They're designed to prevent sharing of needles and the spread of communicable diseases such as Hep C and HIV, with some folks fearful that such programs only support or encourage drug use. In the viewing area, I've covered local government meetings in Louisa and Paintsville, I believe, thus far, where this program has already been approved and passed by city councils. Sagersville Mayor Pete Shepard informed his council that the Magoffin County Health Department will be coming before them in the near future to present their case in support of starting an exchange program here. And nowhere else could the feelings on both sides of the proposal or discussion be more clear and representative of just how differently people see this issue, how divisive the issue can be, than at this week's Johnson County Fiscal Court meeting, where the Johnson County Health Department was there to ask the court to support the program after, of course, Senate Bill 192 last year, which was passed in Kentucky, allows local health departments to open their own needle exchange program only with the approval of local government. We'll begin with the Johnson County Health Department Director, Julie Bush, who says it's not just about the users and the addicts. It's about protecting the rest of us and our kids and families and law enforcement personnel who are finding them in parks, under bridges, on the streets, and elsewhere.
In October of 2016, the local Board of Health did approve a resolution to open a needle exchange program in Johnson County. In July of 2017, Paintsville City Council also approved the resolution. I'm here to request approval from the Fiscal Court to approve the same resolution so that the Health Department can open a needle exchange program.
They put a big emphasis on reaching out to the community. Have you guys done any outreach work? Have you met with public groups, individuals, medical community? Of course, I know you got medical people on your board. Schools, have you done any of this? Because I read first 5 or 10 issues or items here is assessing the community's need for exchange program.
We have a representative from every school in Johnson County as well as Paintsville. We have the hospitals with Polly Hall, Mountain Comprehensive Care, the Recreation Center, and everybody at first was a little bit apprehensive. A lot of them had their own opinions. They didn't feel like they had enough knowledge. So we had talked about it for several months, and Julie and I actually did a presentation that we took the information from the state and presented to them, and all of them were very much in support of the program. They said they hated that the community has come to this where it's a need, and they understand people's concerns, but they really felt like it was something that we needed to go forward with, and they were actually the ones that said, it's time, we think, to take it in front of City Council. Because like Julie said, we passed it with the Board of Health, which is a medical community, in October, but we wanted to be sure that the community was ready. So we had done some conversations amongst the health department and our health coalitions and things. And then when we presented in early June, they said they felt like it was time for us to take it in front of City Council and the fiscal court.
Judge Daniel then cited Fayette County as an example, saying that the health department there sees about 160 people every Friday afternoon come in for the needle exchange program, many of those seeking HIV testing as well, all at a significant cost.
If you guys are talking about $20,000 for your grant, it doesn't sound to me like, when I hear these numbers and see these numbers here, that somebody's winning the battle. And I hope you understand the calls that we get. This is truly a social issue. And it has not been treated like a social issue since it started, in my opinion. We all know if you're going to combat something of this magnitude, the way this thing has grown the last few years, Washington hadn't touched it. You don't see them signing their name on any legislation that says we need to do this and this and this because the people would hold them accountable. You don't find those nice little guys down there in Franklin when they go down for their session. 2015, they got the nerve to pass that bill in the legislature, but guess what? They're not administering that program. They're not paying for that program. They passed a bill, an unfunded mandate, that says, hey, Johnson County, you guys you want in on this? Well, go raise your own money and go and worry about the thing, because we're not going to do it. And the problem we've got, and I'd like to have a nickel, and I guarantee my grandmother's turning her grave right now. Amen. It's the idea. This is a social issue, in my opinion, a huge social issue. But when you can give a pocket full of needles that you know is going to an addict that's going to use them for illegal purposes, what happens if they stick that needle in their arm and they OD? Is there any liability on anybody's part for furnishing something that they killed themselves with? Maybe not yet. I'm guaranteeing maybe some lawyer hadn't filed that lawsuit yet. But to me, I'm not sure, Mike, that may be unfounded. But he just extrapolating from where we are to where we're going to be going. That kind of stuff worries me. It scares me a little bit. And what bothers me about the payments is, like I said, 20 grand is not much. And we certainly don't have any money. I don't know if the city, they're probably better financial shape than we are. But I worry about starting a program and then stopping it. And whether or not this has been debated enough, that's what bothers me. I just think that it's hard for this group to sit here and make an informed decision on a social issue like this without knowing what the general public feel about this whole issue.
With all due respect, sir.
Sure.
I don't see it as a social issue. I see it as a public health issue, and that's the way that everybody should see it. I know that a lot of things are based on opinion. A lot of it is religious opinion. A lot of it is the way we were raised, things we were brought up as. We see it as taking care of our children. You know, I apologize. If it was my kids on the park, my 4-year-old said to me, if I see a needle, I don't need to pick it up. They taught him that at preschool because they don't know. Because the gate is open that somebody couldn't toss a needle in. Yes, I understand that someone might die. But if you have an addict, I believe the judge, he stepped out, he said, I overheard him say, he said, you don't know the power of addiction. And a lot of us don't. But everybody's family, I guarantee in here, has been touched in some manner. And they will do anything. And whether they're using a clean needle or a dirty needle, chances are, I'd say 99% of the time, they're still going to use it.
whether it's dirty or clean. And we just want to do the best that we can to protect them. Because if we don't, you know, a lot of times people can get clean, they can get help. What if they have Hep C after that? What if they have HIV after that? It's really important to protect the kids in their home. I mean, some kids are being stuck, you know, sexual partners. You may have a kid that only has one sexual partner, but their husband or their wife was an IV drug user before and they didn't know it, and then they have Hep C and HIV. So I understand that it is socially unacceptable, but these programs have been going on over the nation for over 30 years, and no county has ever seen increased crime, increased overdose, or increase anything negative. It's always been positive.
I don't believe that.
To that, Wilson offered to bring back some CDC and other national studies and reports which supported her argument and cause, while the judge cited input from local law enforcement reports of current drug and the related crime problem and a personal family loss to drug addiction as well.
So, you know, I know both ends of this thing, but on the other hand, we're sitting here trying to respond to a program that may be one of the most important things that we've considered in a long time. And you walk in the door and say, here, we'd like to have you vote on this. Well, you know, that's not the way this thing works. If it's an issue that we think needs to be discussed publicly, if we think the people have a right to know, the public has a right to know, then we're going to do that. And it's no reflection on you guys. You're doing your job. You're doing what you feel is best and what you're seeing in the health industry. But we're looking at it from a different viewpoint altogether.
Well, that's what I would like to say. As public health officials, I think we need to call it what it is. It's a public health emergency. And it's based on the increase in hepatitis C and HIV. I think we're too focused on the addict and the drug issue and not the disease issue. As public health, we are mandated to do disease surveillance and control communicable disease. That's what this is about. It's not about the addiction part of it. That's not our job. It's our job to get them in, get the clean needles out into the community, refer them to treatment. It's going to take a whole community to do this. The treatment part of it is not our responsibility. We refer that to somebody else. Our concern as public health officials is to call it what it is. It's an increase in hepatitis C and HIV. It's a public health issue.
What is the cause?
What is the cause?
What is the cause of hepatitis C? Where does it start from?
60% of hepatitis C infection is due to IV drug use.
Then we need to address the cause, not the effect that happens from it. We're saying that we're
Right.
okay. It's okay to do drugs as long as you do it with a clean needle.
We're not saying that at all. We're just saying this is what the health department can do by law. This is our part that we are legally allowed to do by law. We can distribute clean needles in an effort to reduce the incidence of hepatitis C and HIV and other communicable disease. Based on this law, that's our responsibility as a health department.
But is distributing these needles going to do anything to affect the cause?
Yes, because we can serve as an access point to get those people into the health department, to exchange those needles, refer them to treatment, to get them help, to get them into recovery. People who participate in a needle exchange program are 5 times more likely to go into treatment and recover.
I worry about starting something that nobody can pay for. And how's that? How do you accomplish that?
As we said before, we have applied for grants, and it is not a one-time thing. It's a sustainable grant that we can apply for year after year. On the condition that that doesn't happen, the health department does have it in their budget to sustain this program and keep it going. Like I said, it would be,
Regardless of what the cost is.
we expect the cost to be roughly $12 to $15 per participant. It would depend on how many people we have in the program. The population, they have 125 participants in Pike County. They have a lot more population than we do at 23,000. I don't expect that many in Johnson County.
I've had to get up and escort people out of church who came high. I've been under the bridges, helped them pack what little belongings they've had in black plastic bags, and take them to our rescue mission, only to find that no matter how many cameras you got on them or how many visits you make to check up on them, they're going to find some way to do drugs. This is a social problem, Judge. Ladies, this is a public health problem. But this is a spiritual problem. This is a problem that goes to the heart of man. And until we start making changes there, you can throw all of the money you want to after these programs, and it's not going to help one bit.
They bring that needle in, and they don't boil it, clean it, or do something with it, it will have residue in it. That makes them what?
I think the idea is the change is that it basically takes them out of the drug paraphernalia realm.
That's drug paraphernalia.
Or
it does not take them out of possession.
I think it does.
Well, if it does, then my next question is, all those that we've jailed that we have to pay $40,000 a month for over there for the same charge, are we going to turn them out of jail and give them one of those needles to turn in or one of the cards to sign? In all fairness on that part. But my biggest problem, and I'm not getting into it all, but it comes to, it can come to another thing. It will help some people, I'm sure, without doubt. But then it comes down to the part that I've watched, the enabling. Whether they be a licensed doctor, whether they not be, it doesn't make any difference. The only thing that will change these people from these acts that they've got into, this lifestyle that they're living, is that they have a desire, after they find themselves so low, they can't go no farther if they don't die at that point, that they want something better for themselves. And without, I personally believe, without that and spiritual help, it'll never take place. I personally believe it's more of an enabling, and from my side that I look at.
It's not going to help the social issue, Reverend Scott's right. It's not going to stop the drug use. But if you're trying to show these folks that you want them to do this for the public health, from HIV and Hep C, you got to give them some better numbers. You got to show us something more, because there are a whole lot of people out there in that county that don't like this idea. There are more people that dislike it, probably 3 to 1 that like it, from what I'm hearing and from what the physical court's hearing. So if the court's going to have a public hearing on it, that would be a good idea. But you're going to have to bring some better numbers. You're going to have to sit down and prove your case, because you've not proven it today. You've not shown us what the stats are, how it's going to help. Is it going to change anything in terms of, Reverend Scott, is it going to keep them from using the dope? It's not. In one way or the other, whether you grant this needle program or you don't, it's not going to help. So before you put the commissioners on the spot today and put them in the spot in front of the public eye who probably are against it, you need to prove your case.
So with all of that said, and actually much, much more, in the end, the fiscal court decided to set a public hearing. The date has not been set yet, but it will be at least a couple of weeks, and at that time they asked the health department to come back with further data and information to support their argument that it indeed does reduce the spread of infectious diseases. Now, just my thoughts at the end of this. With the explosion of methamphetamine that I have been focusing on here for the past several weeks, every single day in a row, largely injected, needle use is exponentially rising, it appears as though, and I don't think there's much of an argument to that. Needle use that before that had already brought about what many see as a need for a needle exchange program. So the problem is indeed only going to get worse, much, much worse. Kentucky leads the nation in hepatitis C infection rates. The question is, what's the answer? I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Attorney Jeff Lovely. At my law office, we're determined to offer you and your family outstanding, cost-effective, and responsive legal services. I can help you if you've been injured in a car wreck. I'll be in your corner if you have a DUI, or other criminal charges. You can file bankruptcy and stop those harassing phone calls, or I'll fight for you and your children in divorce and custody cases. For all your legal services, contact me when it matters. In Syersville at 349-4522 and West Liberty at 743-1965.
Stop by the Seasonal Shop for the 2 biggest events of the season and find all the help, gifts, and decor you need with baby and wedding registry, something extra special for the new arrival or that little one turning 1 or more, and wedding registry, ideas, and planning for everything from the ceremony to gifts to the home. And the Seasonal Shop also has thoughtful ways to honor memories of loved ones lost, with personal and gravesite decorations that they'll gladly deliver to our local funeral homes. Find something to cherish all your memories at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sagersville. Yes, that's a 68 with an awesome 302, an updated 5-speed, over $6,000 in just recent restoration receipts, all with only about 70,000 miles. It's only at Broadway Auto Sales in Paintsville. And this 07 Expedition Eddie Bauer, and this 2011 Nissan Altima, and this super sporty 07 Colorado are all drastically cut to sell quick. Come check them out at Broadway Auto Sales in Paintsville. The only difference in these washers and mowers from new is the incredible low price, and the same goes for tools, electronics, jewelry, games, and more at Parkway Gun and Pawn, where they buy and sell gold and silver and loan cash every day on just about anything worth $1. Stop by on Parkway Drive or call 349-PAWN. Much more than diesel specialist, Black Smoke Performance is turning out excellent auto body collision paint and repair results with free quotes and estimates on everything from insurance jobs to that ding you got in the driveway, custom lift kits, bed liners, winches, and accessories, and full diagnostics and repair on anything gas or diesel, from brakes to fluid changes to major auto repair. If you want it fixed, lifted, painted, customized, or just maintained, just call on the team at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville, 100 May Drive, or 349-8785. Well, as you can well imagine, I am out of time. Here's a short look at your weather. A cold front approaching that could give us some showers and a few thunderstorms. For us, it's going to be 9, 10, 11 o'clock or so. And after it rolls out, we're looking at a drier, clearer Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's going to be a picture-perfect forecast for Friday Night Football, Community Day, and our big, of course, eclipse event on Monday as well. Temperatures in the 80s and a lot of sunshine. That's after this rolls through. Thank you for watching and being a part of the show. Please join us back here tomorrow night for special and exclusive programming on Your News Today.